decades and is closely interwoven with the ICT landscape of India. India's transformation to a major IT hub has been gradual and arduous. As an industry body, ESC represents the collective interest of over 1,000 electronics hardware companies and over 1,300 software and services companies. Majority of them belongs to the MSME sector, small businesses and mid-sized businesses. And ever since its inception in 1989, which is over 3 decades now, the Council has achieved with an export performance of $200 billion. We have been able to steer the direction of India's electronics and software exports to achieve an estimated export volume of $155 billion during 2019 and 20. Today, services, with their rising importance in the global economies, alongside manufacturing, are becoming more vital for economic growth. Our nation's competitiveness depends on the capacity of its industry to innovate and upgrade. Today's India has created a niche in IT services sector, and India's IT leading sourcing destination across the world. Indian IT and ITS companies have set up over 1,000 global delivery centers in about 18 countries across the world. Indian IT companies and Indian IT industry's core competencies and strengths have attracted significant investments from major countries. The computer software and hardware sector in India attracted cumulative foreign direct investment inflows worth $43.58 billion between April 2000 and December 2019 and ranks second in inflow of foreign direct investments. Leading Indian IT firms like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, and Tech Mahindra are diversifying their offerings and showcasing leading ideas in new technologies which include blockchain, artificial intelligence, etc. to clients using innovation hubs, research and development centers in order to create differentiated offerings. At the same time, our electronics and IT SMEs are also exploring global markets for business partnerships, joint ventures, and collaborations in IT and electronics. For today's event, we have around 50 Indian IT companies looking to join hands with Swedish companies for a win-win partnership and growth. I am sure that this initiative on both the sides during this current challenging times will further ICT trade between the two countries. With these words, I convey my sincere thanks again to Sunil Dhamiji, our mission there, and all the participants for joining us today. And I wish you all the best for today's B2B meetings. With these words, may I request Mr. Sunil Dhamiji to please share our overview and scope of Indian ICT companies vis-a-vis with respect to Scandinavian and Sweden perspective. Sunil Dhamiji. Sir, please unmute yourself. We are not able to hear you. Please unmute. Yeah, it's better now.
Is it okay now? Am I audible? It's okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Gurmeet-ji, for giving us the insights into the Indian IT industry and the strides it has made in the global IT sector. We really thank you for that. To begin with, I would like to thank you all participants on behalf of the Ambassador of India, Ms. Monica Kapil Mohta, and the Embassy. A very warm welcome to you all to participate in this virtual business-to-business meeting of IT sector companies from both Sweden, Latvia, and of course the large presence from the Indian companies. Our thanks are particularly due to Mr. Gurmeet Singh, the Executive Director, Mr. Vikrant Saxena, the Senior Manager at the Electronics and Computer Software Export Promotion Council, and their entire team for organizing this very constructive and very useful B2B meet, bringing together in these difficult times businesses from all these like from India and to help us bring the businesses from Sweden and Latvia. To introduce myself, I'm Sunil Dhami, Second Secretary. I'm the Commercial Representative of India to Sweden, and my primary job profile includes promoting business and economic cooperation between the two countries, including investments and like whatever it comes under the economic and the business cooperation comes to my desk. Apart from we have many experts who are joining us today from the business of Sweden and Latvia. We have our special guest, Mr. Sanju Malhotra, who is the CEO of India Unlimited. We have requested him. Why we have requested him is that because the embassy organizes one of its most important and flagship initiatives, which is the India-Sweden Innovation Day or the India-Sweden Business Day. It is organized annually. So after the introductions from the Indian side are over, we will request Mr. Sanju Malhotra to come and give us little information about this year's activities, so that we are aware of what is happening. Friends, it's a matter of great honor and pleasure for me to engage with this B2B prominent IT sectors companies from India, Sweden, and of course Latvia, to explore, identify, and work together for mutual betterment. We are delighted to see such a strong presence of IT industry, and our thanks are due to, of course, Mr. Gurmeet Singh and his team. Sweden has a very robust startup and incubation system. When it comes to the world, Sweden is one of the strongest. Stockholm, you'll be very happy to know that Stockholm produces more billion-dollar companies per capita than any other region in the world after Silicon Valley. Some of the companies that have come up from Sweden include Skype, King, Mojang, Klarna, Spotify, Izettle. All these are the unicorns funded in Stockholm. Truecaller is another Stockholm-based company to reach $1 billion valuation. And I'm very happy to announce that the representative, Mr. Kari, who is the Vice President, is also here, and we'll have the opportunity to hear his thoughts about this interaction that we are organizing. As far as the Government of India is concerned, realizing the importance of the IT and ITES sector, government has taken various initiatives. Digital India journey has positively impacted every Indian's life in some way. Direct benefit transfers, e-health, e-hospital, e-Pathshala, national AI portal, and AI-based services, policy on software products, quantum computing, and the list goes on. It's endless, actually. The Digital India has also played, or rather, it's also playing, and we are benefiting from this initiative, even through this interaction during the COVID times. Some of the major initiatives of the Government of India in this are like the Arogya Setu, which is tracking all the COVID spread and all the patients. E-Sanjeevani for organizing digital consultations with the patients. I just visited E-Sanjeevani website. It was absolutely mesmerizing. It was even indicating what is the wait time of every patient, which token is going on, and it is all happening, in a very innovative way. And my compliments to the Indian IT and digital industry for organizing all this. So the and when it comes to IT and digitization, the list is endless, and it is impacting positively the lives of every global citizen, I would say. For me personally, being part of the government of India, I never thought that I would ever be able to conduct my business, from distance. But believe me, I have been able to conduct my business, in a timeless manner. I work in the morning, I work in the evening, so there's no time, and I'm working absolutely equally effectively as I have been working, sitting on my desk. Prime Minister has recently launched Atmanirbhar Bharat innovation. There's this new policy which has been launched for the Indian IT sector, which is the Atmanirbhar Bharat Innovation Challenge, launched by the Honorable Prime Minister. Under this scheme, the Atmanirbhar Bharat app innovation, the startup and tech community has been encouraged to develop world-class made in India apps. So the opportunities that are coming up, I would say, are immense, and it is only the innovative idea that is driving the Indian IT and the digital world. Friends, I would say, as you all are aware, that the global supply chain disruptions have occurred because of COVID pandemic, and they have impacted negatively the global economy, the production, the unemployment, and whatnot. India is, on the other hand, India is one of the topmost offshoring destinations for IT companies across the world, having proven its capabilities in delivering both onshore and offshore services to global clients. Emerging technologies now offer an entire new gamut of opportunities for top IT firms. The industry is expected to grow to $350 billion by 2025, and the BPM is expected to account for $50-55 billion of the entire total revenue. When it comes to the industry's presence, I think Sweden has a huge presence in India from the beginning of the last century, 1900s. Ericsson, I think, got set up in 1903. There are approximately 200 companies that have their direct bases in India, 55 of which are manufacturing in India. And when it comes to the Indian companies, there are around 70 companies that are already present in India, and majority of them are, I am proud to say, from the IT side, and they are providing all kinds of facilities and backup to the service industry here. But this leaves great opportunities for younger and smaller companies from entering this. I mean, this should not dissuade any Indian companies to come into this world. The fresh companies which belong to MSME sector, which the present meeting is about, so they have fresh thoughts, they have innovative ideas, and that is what is going to drive the IT industry. Coming to very quickly on the bilateral trade, India and Sweden have a bilateral trade of $4.76 billion. Of this, the merchandise trade is approximately $2.11 billion. I'm talking of the year 1890. And the services trade is approximately 2.65. Of this, we are approximately $0.24 billion trade plus on the Indian side, and it is all because of the services sector. So our compliments again to the Indian IT industry. I think it is time that we should now hear more about the Indian companies. We should hear about the Swedish companies and the Latvian companies. So I would like to conclude here and congratulate all the participants. And I wish you a very successful and a very constructive engagement. Thank you so much. Over to Mr. Now I think now we have to sorry about that. Now we would like to invite Mr. Joydeep and Mr. Sabrina to come forward and speak inroads for the Indian industry in Sweden and Scandinavia. Over to Joydeep and Sabrina.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Dhawi. Hello, everyone. This is Joydeep, and I think we have Sabri with us. Hi, Sabri. Maybe you're muted.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Okay, so good. So without wasting much time, we have small slots here to talk to you guys, and I welcome everybody to this forum, and we hope we are able to collaborate with you in some way or the other. I just want to have control on this. Can somebody give me control?
Gurmeet, can you please give the controls? He has a presentation to make.
I think you can just go ahead and share your screen. I'm here with this one here.
And if you are the presenter now, so you can just do whatever the presentation you want to do.
Then are people able to see my screen then?
No, you didn't. You need to put up that, whatever the presentation you want to do.
You need to share your screen.
No.
Sorry, I'm struggling here.
Should I make Sabri the host and you can start in the meantime we can work on it?
That would be better. Maybe Sabri, you can get started.
Okay.
A moment. Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Sabri, we are able to see this.
Excellent. Good afternoon once again. My name is Sabrina, and I am IBM's managing partner for the consumer industry business in the Nordics. I came to first in the year 2004 to be part of one of our earliest outsourcing engagements from Sweden, and I've stayed ever since, and I've worked in the interim with companies in the industrial sector, financial services, and lately consumer products. So one of the main reasons I stayed here in this market is the attractiveness of this market. Dhamiji alluded to the fact that per capita, Sweden punches much above this weight when it comes to innovation. So if you look at right since the early days of SKF, Volvo, Ericsson, all the way down to Spotify and Skype, Sweden as a market has been, or as a region, has been very high when it comes to innovation. Number two, this is a market which has got very high degree of digital penetration. Couple that with a acceptability of outsourcing and English as a business language makes this market very, very interesting and very attractive. But there's two other reasons which make it really attractive from a financial perspective. First is that the level of economic enforcement is perhaps the best when it comes to Europe. With Chronofogden and other agencies here, account receivables are seldom a problem. And the last is the level of competition yet is not very high, right? So this is a market that's big. This is a market that needs the services that we can offer as technologists. And there is sufficient economic protection in this market for us to do our business without having to be unduly concerned. So this market is today growing at about 6% a year. And these are pre-COVID numbers. Now, with COVID and the adoption of more and more digital platforms, this number is likely to go up. So the number 6% is likely to be more around 8% in our estimates at the moment, right? And the bulk of the spend will come from the industrial and financial services segment, right? Followed by public, consumer, and telco. But the bulk of the spend is in the towards the left of the screen, right, with the industrial and financial services. And most of the sponsors, the technology officers and the information officers we speak to say that during the next 2 years, they're going to spend money on digital transformation, so adoption of digital platforms, adoption of more and more electronic ways of contacting customers and interacting with them. Moving applications to cloud, this is going to become even more accelerated in the COVID scenario because nobody wants to run data centers or be responsible for machines anymore. Increase in operational efficiency coming from automation and AI, and then, of course, adopting new technologies. So if you see there, this is in many ways the magic mesh, where I would focus emerging business or new businesses out of, right? So at the intersections is where there is money to be made. Now, there are niche areas like gaming and e-commerce, media, some parts of health, which I've left out of this because most of, when I looked at the portfolio of companies who are here today, most of the firms are into IT services or into technologies to the enterprise. And I believe that we would all do well by focusing in that fabric of the matrix, right? So, big market, attractive market, growing at 6 to 8%, right? And I believe it is the best market in the whole of Europe for India-based companies. So, in my 16-odd last years, I've had about 5 or 6, or actually 5 keys that I've seen to success. This is not just for larger firms like the one I represent, but I've seen entrepreneurs, I've seen mid-sized firms succeed in this market using these 5 keys. Right? And I want to share them with you, and I'll be happy to talk to you about these at length at a later time on a one-to-one. So, without much ado, first, be ready to invest a lot of time in Sweden. Things don't happen in days, right? Weeks are the most common units offering. So don't be, don't expect to get meetings set up the next day or the day after or even the next week, right? So things take a lot of time. And the consensus culture in Sweden means that decisions, right, need to be very thoroughly discussed internally in the companies before they will make a decision, which means it will take time. So be ready to invest lots of time. So this is not like the Anglo-Saxon market where things happen, where time is money, right? In Sweden, you will almost never hear that word that time is money. So be ready, be liberal with your investment of time. That's the first. Second, keep it simple. It's almost like Leo da Vinci wrote, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, with the Swedish market and the Swedish society in mind, right? Now, most of the Indian messaging when it comes to technology is aimed again at the Anglo-Saxon market. Right? So we tend to be superlative, we tend to be sometimes very complex, and that doesn't really work well in this part of the world. What works well is very, very simple messaging, whether be it in prospecting, whether be it in proposals or in negotiation, right? Or even when you're delivering, you're having a dispute, keep it simple, right? So resist the temptation that we have to keep things superfluous, So I always tell this to people who come in and join my team. In the US, a lot of things is awesome, right? In Sweden, you seldom hear that, right? So keep it simple. No superlatives, no extremes, and don't complicate it, right? So remember, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication when it comes to doing business in Sweden. Third, trust. You'll hear this word mentioned a lot in your interaction with Swedish counterparts. Now, trust, when we say trust in India,
in the Anglo-Saxon world, it means that if I say that if I bring up trust, it almost means that I don't believe you, right? Or I don't trust you. In Sweden, trust is used a little bit more liberally than that, right? But all aspects of the trust equation needs to be addressed while we do business here, right? So it's about credibility. What works here very well is not how we present our firm, but how another client of yours may talk about your firm. So I've got a lot of success here in Sweden by using another client to speak to my credibility, right? So that's number one. Building credibility is important. Reliability is the next big thing. So under promise, over deliver. Be on time every time. In India, we sometimes are a little bit liberal when it comes to time. In Sweden, that is not to be the case, because when we do that, the reliability element starts to diminish. Third is building intimacy. Get to know people as people, your clients as people. They're willing to share a lot of things with you. Be open about it, right? Be open about sharing about your company, about you as a person, and be very interested to know about, what they do, your counterparts do for summer, over Christmas, what is their family situation like, without being too probing, of course. Right? But build on all the top lines of the trust equation: credibility, reliability, and intimacy, and actively show that you are in this together, so that you're not only looking after yourself. So the minimize self-orientation. Look, we are all here for profit. There's no doubt. However, do not make sure that that does not come through us that way. Make sure we are ready to work together so that both of us prosper. Right? That attitude really goes a long way here in Sweden. The fourth, as you see from the pictures, we as a society are very used to taking stress. So we take our first competitive exams at the age of 3 years and 3 months. Getting in and out of a train in Mumbai is a lesson in stress management itself. Some of us do that twice a day. So we as a society, I believe, have gained the ability to act in highly stressful situations and not be deterred by it. Sweden, on the other hand, has a high focus and is a champion of work-life balance. However, the amount of people who are here on stress-related vacations and stress-related leaves is very high, and it's been growing. And it is a difficult problem for the Swedish economy and the Swedish businesses to handle. So actively focusing on stress in the business relationships is very important, because a lot of stress is today created in the workplace, in negotiations, in promises not being kept, in unclear responsibilities and unclear communication, right? So focusing on lowering stress in the relationship will go a long way towards being accepted and towards being thriving in this market. The last point I've got is, given the amount of time it takes, given the cultural aspects that you need to take care of in the earlier days, I advocate using partnerships very extensively to kickstart the business or to establish yourself. However, do not shy away from setting up your own local entity. Right? The reason I advocate that is, if you have a local entity, you get all of the protections of the Swedish state for you. Right? When you're a foreign entity trying to do business with Sweden, enforcement is still there. However, it's much more robust when you have a local entity. Right? So while these messages might look to be in conflict with each other, they're not. Use partnerships to establish yourself, use partnerships to go to market, use partnerships to deliver where you can bring complementary capabilities. But I recommend to always have your own local entity with you to get the full protections from the state. So with that, I'd like to conclude and hand over to Joydeep. So that's my contact information. I'll be glad to have a conversation with you, at the time of your convenience. I also run a non-profit called Heart of Writing, whose mission is to do a lot more on the intersection between India and Sweden. And we have several distinguished professionals working in our organization and who would be happy to support you and help you grow your business. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. And with that, over to you, Jaydeep.
Thank you, Sabri. Sabri, would it be possible for you to just open my presentation, if that's possible?
Have you sent it over?
I shared it with you by email.
Okay, let me do that.
So we heard from Sabri about, in fact, my presentation, it has a lot of overlap with Sabri. But just to quickly come to, where probably, I see things a little bit different is because I've come from a startup scenario. So I've come from a background, like many of you companies who are listed here on this presentation. I worked for a company called Nagaro, which was a Delhi-based or Gurgaon-based entity. And we were just 250 people when we started. We decided we will explore the Scandinavian market. And I was based out of Germany, so we could explore and we could get something started in Sweden, for example. And we also had something going on in Denmark. So Sweden and Denmark are quite similar. So, and from there we have been able to scale this business to a point where it is multi-country within Scandinavia. It's across 5 countries, and the business has also scaled really well. And from that perspective, I share some of my experience on what it takes as a new entrant into this market, and how do you scale this business. And I'm just trying to mix it with a talk around Fika. Maybe the next slide, if you can show, Sabri. Fika is a small coffee break, with some sweet savories, that's very common for the Swedish people, particularly around 3 o'clock, they'll break out into a small fika. And increase the fika along with our Indian concept. Okay, as we started collaborating more and more, India side also used to take a coffee break at the same time and maybe hook up with the Swedish companies over a teleconference and have a small fika. It was very important to have this cultural connect. As we started, the business started scaling. We started bringing more Indians here. Probably we have rotated around 800 people into Stockholm alone. It was very important for us to be able to get them to identify with the Swedish culture, how to fit in, for example, to explain what Fika means and how to fit it to the Swedish heart. So, to take a chapter out of Sabri's talk, we have to keep it simple and sweet for the Swedish to be able to identify with what we are trying to do here. So the next one, Sabri. Yeah. So I have been in business development for 22 years, and with Nagaro, so as I said, we started from Sweden. One of the important things about Sweden is its location, of course, and it's a very easy springboard into Scandinavia. So which means that we used Sweden as a base to be able to propel our business in the other Scandinavian markets. As we started gathering more business, we could start, scaling up teams, and then came the office and the legal infrastructure and so on. So as a springboard, Sweden worked really well. So we started with Sweden, we expanded into Denmark, into Finland, and later on we bought a company in Norway, which was also integrated into Nagaro. So over this 15 years of my working with them, so we could scale the business from probably 0 to about 700 headcount offshore and probably about 100 here in Sweden. We're moving on to but since then, about 1 year back, I decided to do something different because I built this business across the 4 markets. So probably it was time for me to try something different. So I quit and I started my own company in Sweden, and it's called Innovate Consulting. And then I'll talk a little bit about what we try to do different in this market to be able to, strike business here. So that's the other thing, that very early on, people will ask you, what is your differentiator? Services company, for example, every day, on an average, I'll be bombarded by 15 to 20, let's say, nearshore companies from Ukraine. They are extremely aggressive with their sales now. So when we start trying to approach these companies, a lot of them have started a little bit closing down, thinking that, okay, this is a very aggressive marketing approach. But as soon as you are able to put forth your differentiator, clearly, initially during your conversation, they are far more open to having a dialogue with you. So you have to do something different. Sabri, if you can move on. So Scandinavia, I'm talking more in perspective of Scandinavia than Sweden, because it's always interesting to start in Sweden, but you have to always think that in terms of the mindset, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, even to some extent Iceland, they all think alike. And each of these success stories that you have in one market actually can work in the other market. So they're far more willing to hold a dialogue with you if you have a good success story in Denmark or in Sweden. So irrespective, you can showcase it and start soliciting business in other countries. And what Sabri said is also extremely important, where they identify with local success stories and they try to understand, how you are able to succeed with their counterparts in one of these countries. So Sweden as a springboard for Scandinavia works really well. And when it looks at the other thing, that is the happiness index, you will find all the Scandinavian companies, scoring right on the top. So among the top 10, you will feature probably at least 3 to 4 Scandinavian countries featuring that. So what is it that people do here which is different, which gives them a lot of satisfaction with their life, with their lifestyle, as well as doing excellent business? So there it is very important for us to also understand this, work and life balance, how we do it. So nobody here really appreciates the fact that you are working outside office hours. Everything should be managed within those 8 hours. So that's a matter of efficiency. And the rest of the time should be family time. So clear demarcation, in fact, to the point that some of the Scandinavian countries might move to a 4 work day a week model. And again, these countries are extremely business friendly. If they see a value in engaging a dialogue with you, they would, welcome you with open arms. Moving on. So here we can skip the context. Yeah. So they have a culture, but they trust those who create local and positive stories once given a chance. So the good stories don't travel unless you speak about them. If you create a bad story, it has a kind of a ripple effect for you in Scandinavia. So these are smaller markets. And if I see the top players here, probably just a handful of them, all of us business leaders know each other. We know exactly who's failing on what account, which account is performing well. So it's a very close-knit market that way. So it's important to get your stories right. Focus on not building quantitative base here, but more like a qualitative base. And as you build a qualitative base, you will see that it automatically starts scaling. Because once the trust builds, it starts scaling really well. A case in point is we started with a company called Assa Abloy. Assa Abloy is globally the leading company in security and locking systems. It's about 4 billion euros probably globally in turnover. And we have just a 5-people team working for them in product development. And nothing much happened. What they were doing is they were observing how we are faring into their core products, which are extremely complex because these are the world's leading, locking and security systems. And as we started faring well, second year they started doing a little bit offshore. From third year they started scaling. Today probably we have about 250 people working for Assa Abloy. And more importantly, 100 out of them are in core R&D outsourcing. So innovation for a top Swedish company it is possible to set it up into India, provided you have built a trust base with them and you have demonstrated that you are capable of handling complex products. So once the trust is there, it is never difficult to start scaling from there. Moving on. Other thing is, we tend to overpromise. Everything, yes, we can do it. So rather, this market is quite skeptical about that approach. It's always good to understand your own limitations and be realistic and honest with your approach towards the Scandinavian customers. An emphatic no on some areas works really well to build the trust. So if you're not sure about your grounds in a certain specific technology area, better say that you are not an expert there. But if you have the capability to be able to hire and scale, maybe yes, they will give you a chance there. But never come from a bragging point of view that everything is possible, because they're quite skeptical about this approach. Moving on, please. Other thing is to be patient again. Probably has talked about it, so I'll just let it pass as well. Probably moving on to the next one. So a few tips is, to give you around the Scandinavian market. As I said, Sweden is an easy place to start working. You will get these presentations after this discussions, of course, but there's a small link here called Verksamt.se. So if you look at Verksamt, it is the equivalent of Swedish counterpart to help you start your business here. They have a lot of information on English on how to start a company in Swedish, whatever format that you need. Probably you can start a filial. Filial is the extension of your Indian company. That's an easy way to start and set up your business here. Slowly move into a private limited company as you start building business. But Verksamt has also helpline. You can just call them and they will completely handhold you, guide you in English through the whole setup process here. The tips to address market here, of course, you should profile your customers extremely well to understand the exact talking points, understand the nuances of each Scandinavian market. Now, not exactly each of them respond exactly similar. So there are some underlying differences between how you can address the Swedes and the Denmark, but you will start learning the ropes as you start holding dialogues with them. But as I said, a lot of shared culture, which means if you're succeeding in one market, can help you launch in the other markets. The rest of the points again I have covered. Maybe we can move on to the next one. So again, I was talking about the differentiator. When I started, I bought a company in India, which is an e-commerce company. I launched the operation here, but then when we look around, there are plenty of e-commerce companies here. And so we realized that unless we have a strong differentiator, it's very difficult to make an impact in this market. So early on, we could see that there is a gap between where sustainability and e-commerce converge, because e-commerce is also highly polluting. So as we started on that line, we started something called openinnovators.org as a sustainability not-for-profit platform in Sweden. And moving on to the next one, please. So since Open Innovators, this platform has actually helped us, literally strike conversation with any large brands, but not through their procurement and the traditional way, through their sustainability arm, discussing how we can support certain sustainability-related initiatives. Towards this, we started offering some free software tools that we have built ourselves or through collaboration with others. And this became an extremely nice way of starting a conversation with a large company, because Scandinavia is far ahead of other markets when it comes to being environmentally friendly and green and so on. So this allowed us, so we started on topics like reducing waste or promoting sustainability, circular economy, and a lot of these topics were in fact new to us. So we started learning the ropes along with Swedish experts. But this differentiator helped us pitch our services in a very easy way into company and scale from there. Moving on. Next one, please. So my company is called Innovate. Though it's a relatively 2-year-old company here, but we have already we are working with a lot of these startup spaces through our accelerator, supporting some of these innovative initiatives in sustainability area. We are doing IT projects as well as we deploy some people here locally into Scandinavian companies. But those are only primarily focused around innovation and R&D. So I'd be happy to have a conversation with any of you. So I'll share my deck. So you are welcome to reach out to me. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Dhar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Georgie, and Sabri, for giving us this detailed insights into doing this. Now, let me hand over the program to Vikram for carrying out the introductions by the Indian industry. Thank you so much. Over to Vikram.
Thank you, Mr. Dhar. Let me start my request to Indian Council with Mr. Yogesh Sharma to kindly brief the gathering. Mr. Yogesh, please.
Our counterparts from Sweden and India.
Yogesh, please be a little louder.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah, now it is fine.
Hi, so I am from Atlanta Systems Private Limited, and we are a vehicle tracking and IoT solutions providing company. We are also into IT hardware manufacturing, and we are exporting to over 25 countries across Africa, Australia, Europe, USA, and we are looking forward to work in close partnership with Swedish companies in fields such as software development and IT hardware and product development. And we'll be looking forward to communicating with our counterparts in Sweden. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh. May I now request Mr. Sanjeev All to kindly brief the gathering?
I'm Sanjeev All.
I'm one request to all companies here, and I think I request to put your camera on so that at least the people who are looking at you, they know you and leave a image that you met someone virtually. So my request is it's better to keep your camera on at least while you are speaking. Thank you so much.
I'm Sanjeev All, into the IT sector for almost 34 years now, specializing in designing ERPs right from end to end. And during this COVID time, special time, we designed a product whereby we can take out profits from the block space utilization of documents and all. I have worked in every trade, the design solution end to end for every trade except the share market, that's the hospital and all. Looking forward to and specialize in implementing software where ERP implementation becomes a problem, and most of the ERP fail because they are not implemented by the right kind of people and with total knowledge of the industry. Looking forward to some connects. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. May I now request Mr. Karthik Trivedi? Mr. Karthik Trivedi? Let me move to the next one. Mr. Hitesh Solanki from EM Webtech. Mr. Hitesh?
Hitesh, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay. This is Hitesh Solanki. I am from IM Webtech, and basically we are providing our services in GIS application development, and we are proudly the part of the Google German team from last 4 years, and we are very much familiar with the European culture, and it's been like we are having very trustable relationship with them. And while working with the European companies, we learn to having like how to manage the relationship and to understand what kind of their expectation they are having and how they trust trust on you and how they develop the relationship with you and share their knowledge and expertise. While working like with those companies, we also started working on having their Google Premium partners, and we work with we are now selling mapping license and Google Cloud servers here. And yeah, that's all from me.
Okay, that's all. May I move to Ms. Asha to kindly brief the gathering? Ms. Asha from Angular Technology. Asha, are you there? Let me request Mr. Mitesh Dave from Apurva Computer Technologies to kindly brief the gathering.
Yes, myself, Mitesh Dave. I'm a director in Apurva Computer Technologies Private Limited. We are established in 1997, and we are mainly into the manufacturing of IT hardware in Gujarat. So our main core expertise in manufacturing commercial mini PC and industrial mini PC, where we are providing all kinds of customization in the CPU type as well as the customization code. So we are giving a very customized hardware. Thank you very much. Mr. Vikrant?
Yeah, thank you. May I request Mr. Ashwani Kumar Dutt to kindly brief the gathering?
Mr. Vikrant?
Yeah.
Greetings. My name is Ashwani Kumar Dutt. I represent Bharti Systems, who is Director and CEO. We offer cloud services, basic solutions, SaaS-based applications to automate business processes and workflows. We are in business since last 10 years and offering services globally across different industry verticals, including banking and finance, manufacturing and logistics, retail and e-commerce, media and entertainment, government and social sectors too. Government is a major focus in our solution offering. We have our own source project. The core is our OS framework for application development, and others are mostly around it. It provides our customers an assurance of transparency and process our innovation and research efforts in digital technologies. I thank ESC for this opportunity. I look forward to speaking with interested companies and discussing the possible business journey between us. So I would like to say hi to Pradeep on the Swedish side. We know each other. Finally, thank all of you.
Thank you, Ashwani ji. May I now request Mr. Murtaza from CDM Software to kindly brief the gathering?
Hello.
Mr. Murtaza.
Hello. Yeah, sorry, sir. Sir, I just need permission to share my presentation as well.
Since there are around 50 participants, so I can send the presentation to this friend after the meeting is over. But right now you can.
Fine, sir. So, Inspector Sunil sir, Gurmit sir, and the ESC team, first of all, I would like to thank you all and giving this platform to all of us. My name is Murtaza Jawadwala. I'm a Global Key Accounts Manager from CDN Softwares, and I would like to welcome you all on this event of India and Swedish Connect. So, CDN Software is an ISO certified company, and we are working from past 20 years with a team size of around 270 people, and we are providing services to global clients for mobile application, web application, custom solutions, and also we provide services as well. Purely we are a service-oriented company to develop the custom softwares, and our services includes in Microsoft, open source, mobility, QA, and testing side. And we have worked with startups to enterprise level clients, and Scandinavian market is we are working from more than I can say not a decade, but around 4 to 5 years in this area. And we would be happy to connect with the partners, companies who are looking for partners like us to connect on the custom solutions development side. Thank you, and have a good day to all.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Anil Kumar Garg from Checkbox Technologies.
We have some electricity issue in the house.
Well, friends, this is Anil. I have distinguished guests like Damiji and a special deliverance by Sabrina, Tenugopal and Joydeep Daur, giving the insights on the market, enabling us to frame our strategies to enter the market. I am Anil Garg, Director at Checkbox. We are having our development centers in USA, India, at Noida and Kolkata, and also in Vietnam. We are a software design and development company having core strengths in embedded technology, right from device drivers, user experience including lower layer, middle layer, and as well as UI development. We have successfully developed and delivered software solutions to small and large enterprises. As one of the large enterprises which we are working for is AT&T. We have assisted in the past and are also currently assisting our customers with development, testing, and support of their software projects by providing them technology consultancy as well as tech resources, both offsite and onsite. We are currently responsible for almost 15 million embedded set-top boxes, products in customer homes in South American continent and the North American continent, including features like DVR, streaming, and IoT capabilities. We have some products also with customer-specific data analytics into Meeting Manager. We have virtual study platforms recently developed. Warranty portal has been done for US company and Gauge, which is voting event ranking evaluation tool. So I am here to explore the possibilities of developing some projects with the Swedish companies for them or with them with our offshore and onshore and joint ventures of any form or any form of association. I'm here and I've given my details with the ESP to be forwarded to you to connect with us at any point in time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anil. The next is Mr. Aditya Joshi from Claytech. Aditya Joshi from Claytech. Aditya, please. The next is Mr. Amit Vachar from Elegant Group.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Amit Vachar from the Elegant Group, and we are here into app development and software development since the last 18 years with offices in New Delhi and in London. And we are into digital marketing, into e-commerce platforms, especially into Joomla and Magento. And we have also created custom software for the New Zealand and the Australian defense force. And I'm looking to connect to expand into the Swedish market. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. The next is Mr. Amrit Pal Singh from Futuresoft. Rahul Ganatra from Gateway. Rahul? Let's move to Mr. Manoj Devchandani from Hiteshi. Mr. Manoj Devchandani. Hello.
Yeah, hello. On behalf of Mr. Manoj here and Hitesh,
like who is presenting here on the behalf of Islam. Thanks to ESG to give this platform. Like Hiteshi is basically a IT service company, and we are into pure services. We are having specialization in mobile and web application development. We are working on different technologies like on the mobile. We are working on native and cross platform as well, and on the web application side, we are working on open source technologies as well as Microsoft technologies. Like we are in this industry since last 20 years and starting well here, and now looking for the organic market as well as expanded and so on.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. May I request Mr. Timid Shah?
Smart and great afternoon. First of all, thank you very much, ESC, Mr. Vikrant, Mr. Gurdeep, and other highly dignitaries and the fellow members to give us a platform to just present ourselves and given us an opportunity. This is Timid Shah, representing my company, Ishanya Innovations Private Limited. We have total experience of 200 plus years in the solutions where we are catering with a very unique, innovative solution for different segments like warehouse management or factory automation or supply chain management or smart healthcare systems. And during this COVID-19 situation, we are been able to promote it and execute it in some of the area, very niche area, where people now thinking for next new is normal. So we are able to successfully deliver some kind of analytics to COVID-19 CCTV surveillance with other analytics where mask and mask or supply, social distancing or kind of, group management or automated attendance management, automated access management or supply chain management system through automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. So along with that, our expertise is we are able to integrate the front-end technology as well as with the back-end technology, the kind of different protocol to mix and match and to customize the new concept by saying that we have developed our own 190 concepts for the different segments. Likewise, I just would like to say that smart warehouse management system, smart factory or smart gas management or smart healthcare, RFID-based asset management systems or tracking management systems. Likewise, we have more than 190 concepts as a solution to introduce. And by saying that right now we are having in India as a core focus market, but saying that we are likely to collaborate. We have a 3C funda where we just wanted to complement, collaborate and clustering with Swedish market with the help in way of this maybe in JV format or collaboration, and yes, seeking support. And I just would like to thank Mr. Sabrinath and Mr. Joydeep. The way they have presented and explained in a very simplicity manner, we are also like to seeking for some kind of partnership wherein we can explore and we can expand. Thank you very much. Once again, this is Timir Visha from Ishanya Innovations Private Limited. Be smart, be automated. Thank you.
Thank you, Timir. And the next is Mr. Abhijit Sharma from Logic View Analytics Private Limited.
Hello, greetings to all. I'm here to represent Logic View Analytics. We are a pure play analytics company. We are experienced in data science, data analytics, data visualization, business intelligence, and artificial intelligence. We have been working with the European government for last 2 years, and in this period we have already engaged with the government for more than 12 projects. We would like to explore the possible synergies between the Swedish company in the similar area where we can help the companies in their data analytics and visualization needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, the next is Ms. Anta from IndusNet Technologies.
Hi, this is Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Hello. We are actually 800 plus people team, and we are connected to maximum $15 million a year. and have been awarded several times from different brands. Times. So, as far as this is concerned, like we are a mix of analytics, tech, and marketing. Okay, and recently in the last 5 years, we have acquired the medicine India's largest, analytics, and tech. Right? We are mostly into like digital transformation, how to adapt operation efficiency, and new tech adaptation. Right? And so that's a basic thing. And what basically we are doing right now in the last years, we have had an opportunity to work with several enterprise clients. Just to take a name, some of those are AGS, SBI, FCS. We work with them in Indian market and all over the world. Like in the Indian market as well, we have been working for the last over 5 years. And we do work with the Indian market as well. Work with the Indian government and all of the leading banks right here. Right? So basically, we are also with a new method we call it ourselves. We call that co-investment model, where we work with the startup or small, medium funded startups, where we co-invest as a technical partnership. We take a certain percentage of the amount, and then we invest to get that product. So that's us in a very small period. Hopefully, new people over here. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. The next is Mr. Sunil Prem from Navyu Info Solutions Private Limited. Mr. Sunil Prem. May I move to the next one? This is Sonam Lalika from Newsoft Technologies.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me a slot to speak over here. I represent Newsoft Technologies, which is a CMI level 5 company. We're close to 2,500 employees. We've done custom software development for several industries like BFSI, healthcare. You talk about any industry which you can think about, we've been able to contribute in that. And we are eager and keen to see how we could expand in the Nordic region as well. So feel free to connect with us. It's neosofttech.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonam. Next is Mr. Dhruv Patel from Red Spark.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Alright, first of all, it's indeed a pleasure meeting you all. I sincerely thank ESC government officials for organizing such a wonderful session. To talk about myself, my name is Dhruv Patel. I'm Managing Director at Spark Technologies. Additionally, I'm representing GIZIA, which is an IT association from Gujarat, like a software company association from Gujarat, where I am a Director and Chairman for GIZIA Untitled Chapter. Along with that, I am representing NESCOM SME, where I am NESCOM SME Council member of Gujarat. So that is about myself. If we are talking about Red Spark Technologies, we are again similar IT service and software development company with expertise in web, mobile application, and IoT-based software development. Majority of our clients are from US, Africa, Europe, Middle East and APAC countries. Solution what we have been delivering to our customer are mainly a tailor-made solutions, which has been designed and developed based on their requirement. And majority of the industry which we have been delivering so far is healthcare, fintech, retail, e-commerce, food, and social media and digital communication. Digital communication doesn't need SEO kind of stuff, but like a more or less video and a couple of other solutions. We have had invested quite heavily building our own products as well, which are mainly into healthcare, e-commerce, and food retail at this stage. We are also coming up with some hardware ideas which we would like to expand in European market. Maybe we'll look forward to connect with you. And the most important of us is we are good to say no like it's not everything yes. Yes, we are good to say no if we do have a limitation working on any project due to technology limitation or maybe resource limitation or whatever. However, the most important part is we do have a right technology partner and association with the company here in Gujarat and in our city where we can deliver a solution collaborating with them. But again, with the transparency that this solution has been delivered collaborating with another company and so on. So we are good to say no. But yes, thank you so much once again, and I would like to get in touch with all of you, and let's make sure that we as India can be a high quality IT service provider. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next is Mr. Soumya Sanyal. Soumya Sanyal. Soumya? The next is Deepak Sani from UVJ Technologies. Deepak Sani.
Sorry, may you repeat? Was it Peter Anderson?
Deepak Sani from UVJ Technologies.
Right, sorry.
Mr. Vikrant, did you forget QSum Technologies in between?
Which one?
QSum Technologies.
Yunus Technologies, they are the next name. Mr. Yunus Tom from Yunus Technologies.
No, I'm Avnish today from QSum Technologies. Q.
Yeah, please carry on.
Sure.
QSum Technologies, Avnish today.
Yeah, okay. So, hello everybody. Let me turn on my camera. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Avnish Dubey. My company is called QSum Technologies. We do only one thing, and that we try to do better than everybody else. So what is it that we do? Companies spend a lot of time and money testing their software systems, and yet after they start using it, they realize that it is not really that good quality and reliable software. So then they spend even more money on firefighting and support. So we help our customers get their quality assurance right. So they don't only save money, but also win the trust of their users. We have developed a cloud-based business process testing platform so that which helps us make sure that we are not just making big promises, but actually making those promises real for our customers. I'm looking forward to working with you in the Nordics region. Thank you.
Thank you. Deepak Sani, are you there? We move on to the next one. It is Mr. Suresh from WorkSys.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Thanks to ESC and Gurmeet for setting this up. I'm Suresh, Managing Director of WorkSys. Firstly, we are a software company specializing in ERP implementation. Secondly, we have unique capabilities in AI, business intelligence, and data science. And we focus on marketing particularly. So using this, we can understand customer attitudes, behaviors, and generate actionable business insights. For example, we have used AI in email marketing, and our solutions can be used in trading, manufacturing, and retail businesses. We're interested to expand in Nordics, so please feel free to connect if your interests overlap. Once again, this is Suresh from WorkSys. You can reach me at suresh@worksys.in. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh. We are still have Mr. Amrit Pal Singh from Futuresoft. Mr. Amrit, are you there? For the Indian side, if I missed out any name, I would request you to kindly unmute yourself and give the...
Hi, Shiv Kumar, Mr. Dakkani, Maple Software. Mr. Vikrant, this is Shivkumar from Business Office. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Shivkumar. I'm CEO of Business Office. We are based out of Visakhapatnam and one office in Hyderabad and also in the US. We are a ISO certified company, primarily into services. We primarily get into the North American market, that is US, Canada, and then UK, Saudi Arabia and India. Primarily working in the areas of software services and product development. So software, we have close to 400 plus people working on these locations. And some of our products which are unique are in the areas of cloud computing and IoT, machine learning. And recently, with this COVID situation, that has risen, we have also gone into that and we developed key applications in that area. One is a social distancing app, which can be used in any public area, and then a telemedicine and track easy application, which tracks not only the resources but also the vehicles. And our primary areas of business are into healthcare, retail, payments, and construction. And I would like to just compliment Mr. Jaydeep Das. You actually gave a very good presentation on how to enter into the Canadian market. Thanks for that, and we are looking forward to any kind of participation and actually a hand-holding because we never been into that market, so I think help in this area. Thank you so much for the opportunity, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Shiva. I hope I am over with the site. Is anybody left there?
Hi, this is Siddharth over here from IBU Labs.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Siddharth over here from IBU Labs. Should I go ahead?
Yes, Mr. Siddharth.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. First of all, very good day to everyone over here, all my friends. I represent IBU Labs Private Limited. We are a technology backbone to product companies. Mainly we craft digital products, internet products. We work on web, mobile, cloud, and IoT. Yes, we have been mainly serving the European market, continental Europe and Scandinavian market as well. We have a couple of partners in the United States of America and in that region as well. We basically work aggressively on the cloud and internet space. Especially also we have been taking a lot of R&D products with Internet of Things and NFTs and stuff. So we have been doing this since past 7 years, and yes, we work in healthcare, logistics, travel technology, real estate. So these are all our industry specialization. Also, we did a couple of education products for Swedish companies in last couple of quarters. So this is all about us. And again, thank you all. The folks from Sweden, and thank you again, ESG and team, everyone for allowing this opportunity to collaborate. Thank you again. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I think done with the Indian part, although I'm able to see few of the faces available on the net, but maybe I think due to some internet issue or I don't know, which I didn't get a chance to speak on. Anybody else left out from Indian side? Aditya, are you speaking something, but we are not able to hear you. Are you already on the mute? Yeah, please do mute and mute once. We are not able to hear you, Aditya. No, still not. I'm able to see you on the screen, but yeah, I think there's something, some issues with either your headphone or something. And similarly, Amrit, are you there? I'm able to see your face coming on, which is off. So maybe I think we are getting over with the time here. So may I request Dhaniji to please carry on with the Swedish side now. Let it be over from the Indian side. Dhaniji, over to you.
Thank you so much, Gurmeet ji and Vikrant. I would now start with Sanju Malhotra, the CEO of India Unlimited. Sanju, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dhoni. Hello, everyone. So I run a platform in association with the Embassy of India in Sweden. It's called India Unlimited. And one of our flagship events is the India-Sweden Innovation Day. We also do arrange like a hackathon. It's a student engagement that we do out here, focusing on smart cities in India. And we run a cultural festival called Namaste Stockholm. So this year we'll be organizing this on the 27th of November with the theme The New Normal, given the extraordinary situation we all are facing this year. And it's in association also with CII and Swedish India Business Council. The themes, I'll just sort of basically touch upon the different themes that we will cover. I don't want to talk about which ministers will be part of it, but that will come back to you in an invitation. But the themes will cover like future mobility and Sweden-India Transport Innovation and Safety Partnership, which is a partnership here with some of the Swedish companies working in this area, and the Sweden-India Innovation Partnership. This, both the Prime Ministers had signed this 2 years back, so we are continuing the discussion about the innovation partnership, the role of industry, and also looking at it from an academic perspective. Then we'll also have a session on India-Sweden Energy Partnership, with a focus also on smart grids and the India-Sweden Innovation Accelerator, which has been quite active. We'll also have a session on aerospace, defense, and security. In the afternoon, we'll kick off a session with Strategic Forum India. We can get back to you again on this topic. Then there's a Sweden-India tech community called SciTech, which is part of Swedish India Business Council. And here we'll focus on women in tech. So basically looking at tech startups with a special focus of women in tech. Next session will be digitalization and AI. And then we will have medtech and healthcare and food tech and ag tech, ending with the Swedish India Business Council dialogue on strategy and leadership, looking at global challenges and local solutions. So this is just to give you an idea. The basic purpose behind organizing the Innovation Day is connecting Sweden and India in different ways, and basically connecting all the strategic business areas that are important for both the countries. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you, Mr. Rami.
Thank you so much, Sanju, for giving us insights into the India-Sweden Innovation Day, which is very important in our bilateral engagement. Now I'm coming over to Mr. Kari Krishnamurthy. Mr. Kari is the Vice President of Brand and Partnerships at Truecaller. Over to Kari. Kari.
Friends, can you hear me? I'm sure you can see me as well.
Yes.
Thanks, Sunil. It's been great working with you and many members of the NBC University. And I think, in this last an hour and a half, been a very insightful session. We had some colleagues talk about how to engage and do business in Scandinavia, but I just have a different take on this, and I'll try to make it pleasant. For many of you, I think Truecaller is an important brand. Forgive me if somebody does not know about it. I'll be able to explain it later. I'm very proud to say that while we were born in Sweden, actually we were considered India as our home market. It's surprising that 8 years back, when I first exchanged a brief message with one of our co-founder, Nami, we hardly had any representation in India. And now, after 8 years, I guess that we can look back, or I tend to look back with a lot of pride that we are now 200 employees in India, serving over 200 million users on a day-to-day basis. And while we have all the Swedish resources, I think what as a company and a brand has been our journey in India. I think we have certain we have philosophies which are very, very flexible, I would say. And that is because we have more than 25 nationalities working in our office, spread across both India, Stockholm, 3 offices in India, in fact, Stockholm and Nairobi and US. Simply, we just are a trusted brand. We want to be fast and we want to be competitive and we are responsive. And in my exchanges with Mr. Dami and many members of the Indian Embassy, we are started focusing on the MSME sector in India with the launch of Truecaller for Business Because for lots of you, I think you will know Truecaller as a spam blocking and writing app. But we will be rolling out our Truecaller for Business, essentially meant for small businesses to engage in a trustworthy way with their consumers. Why as the caveat here? Because we are against telemarketing. But what we have also learned over a period of time is consumers want to engage with the right businesses. So that sort of a program will be rolling out shortly, and we will be working closely with different government agencies in India as well. But yeah, in a nutshell, I think we are extremely proud and humble that we have such a strong Indian heritage with a lot of members from India moving to Stockholm as well and devising new products and features, especially for the Indian market. I think I'm really proud to say that unlike many other international brands, we make products and features for India first and then take it global later. I think that's what makes India a very, very special market for us. And India has actually given us a lot of cultural strength, and actually it has made it extremely competitive. While there is a lot of saying going about the Indian or the Swedish patience and India's impatience, but that impatience is extremely, extremely positive in my opinion, because that has made us really, really fast and competitive. And I'm really happy, I see a lot of members here, some of you have reached to me over LinkedIn. If there is anything that you would want to partner with Truecaller, and if you can elevate your business or help your business, always open. Because India is the market for us, and it will remain so. Thank you all, and thank you Mr. Sunil and Sanju, always keeping us engaged with different facilitations and events all around.
Thank you so much, Kari. Now we have our next Swedish business being represented by Mr. Arun Mohan. Mr. Arun Mohan is the CTO of Student Solutions. Arun wears many hats. Apart from being the CTO at the Student Solutions in the IT world, he's a restaurateur, and he's into many cultural activities as well. So he's an interesting personality. So over to Arun. Arun, please, the platform is yours.
Hey, Mr. Dami, actually Arun is not available. My name is Ayon, and I head the operations part of Student Solutions AD. My name is Ayon Chakraborty, and I will take it for Cuban. But thank you so much for our founder, Arun. As you said, yeah. Please, Arun. Thank you. First of all, greetings to you all, and I hope you all are keeping well in this unprecedented time. And thanks to ESC for arranging this. It's a very innovative and nice idea. And now it's a new normal to meet like this. So great that we are adapting to that. We are Student Solutions AD. It's a no name in Scandinavia. We are headquartered in Stockholm, Sweden. But we have branches in Denmark, Finland, Norway, and we have an office in Bangalore. So we have started taking in people in Bangalore for our offshore development. The main areas that we work on are IT web applications and mobile applications development services, IT services in terms of infrastructure services and cybersecurity part. Also, we help companies in their agile project management, and we have management consultants in many companies throughout Sweden. We work with big Swedish companies like Volvo, Scania, Nordea, SEB Bank, Handelsbanken, like these companies. Right now, we are adapting to this new normal, and we are offering companies offering virtual teams to the companies. And then that's working actually. A lot of customers, they're interested in having a virtual team, and by that we are helping them to have virtual team in any part of the world, or maybe the virtual team is spread out, and that is helping the companies here in Sweden and Denmark. Also, another thing I wanted to inform you guys that here in Sweden, there are many big Indian IT companies. They're working really great. But with this COVID-19 situation, they're having problem of resources getting from India for this travel and things like that. So So Cuban is joining hands with them and helping them with local resource and local development. So we are helping IT companies in Sweden, Indian IT companies in Sweden, and also the Indian IT companies who want to make a footprint in Sweden. We will welcome that. So connect us. You can connect us or email us in info@cuban.se, and we'll be happy to help you. And another thing that today, as Sweden and India, we come from two different cultures, and when we started here, one thing we maintain with all our Swedish clients or Scandinavian clients, we will say, is extreme transparency. So we are extremely transparent in our all processes. When a consultant can start, where the project stands, if it's green, yellow, or red. So this transparency have helped them growing, to this level. And also, right now, we are also engaging the customers and promoting servant leadership. That's a new thing in Sweden, and that is helping the company. Yes, so this was Cuban Solutions AV from Sweden. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayon, for your wonderful presentation. Now, let's come to Mr. Peter Anderson. Mr. Peter Anderson is the CMO of the Swedish company called B2B. Mr. Peter Anderson, the platform is yours.
Thank you very much. Yes, so we are a Swedish company within the mobile communication space. To is the world's first mobile app for interactive mobile screen sharing, and to make it possible for multiple users to share their mobile screen while streaming video, audio, or voice and video calls. You can also chat and doodle on top of any content in real time. And all of this can be done while you are browsing any other external app, any website, or video. And other than that, you can also record the whole session. And we are a startup. We are currently around 30 people, and we are now expanding into India. And I'm looking for partnerships that can help us scale this business, especially on the marketing side. And of course, any IT company who can help us reach our target users, which is Jen said, the population between 18 to 25. We're happy to talk to you and to get the word out there and have people try our amazing solutions that we've been developing for 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. I'm sure you will get your partners. There are so many companies that are participating from India. I'm sure you'll be able to target your audience and your client base in India with so many partners that are participating from India. And of course, we have ESC, which is one of the very robust organization in the IT sector. So I'm sure they will be in touch. You can be in touch with them, and you will definitely have your goals fulfilled. So thank you and best luck. So now, after Peter, we have Paritosh Prajapati. He is the CEO of GX Pro. Paritosh, the platform is yours. Paritosh, are you there? Okay, it seems Paritosh is not able to be available here today. That's okay. Vineet is the business head of Business Sweden in India. He is an interesting person who keeps a tap on all the activities that are happening on the bilateral front. A very useful person, very interesting. I have been maintaining good contact with him to understand various things that are happening on the bilateral front. So I think Vineet will speak more about his activities and opportunities that are available. Vineet, over to you, please. Vineet, are you able to? It seems some sound is coming. There's some problem. Vineet, maybe you can, Dimitri, can you see if Vineet is there? Okay, maybe we can come back to him a little later. Vineet, we'll come back to you shortly. In the meantime, we will request Mr. Nicholas Rislum. Nicholas is the CEO of the Swedish startup Newstad AB. Over to Nicholas. Since Nicholas is not there. Remarks, we will hand over to Mr. Nimit Agarwal. Nimit, are you there? Nimit, can you please, is there some more? Yes, we can hear you now. Nimit.
Hi, can you hear me guys?
Yes, very well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ramil, for providing this platform. Good afternoon, everybody. I think it's great to see how much Indian government is making efforts to increase the reach of Indian IT in Scandinavian market. That's it. I'm here representing TechStack Global AB. We are a Swedish startup. We are headquartered in Stockholm. We are mainly into augmented reality and image recognition software. We started as a consultancy and we started a staff augmentation, but we saw that there is a huge gap in image recognition and virtual reality, augmented reality, and we pivoted into that direction. We are pretty new in the market, and last month we completed our first financial year. And what we are looking for is Indian collaborators and Indian who can help us into image recognition or machine learning technology for identity verification and proof verification. So if you are into that field, you can contact us. You can contact us at contact@extract.s. That will be all from my side.
Thank you so much, Nimit, for your very brief and very crisp presentation. I'm sure you will have your partners coming on the way. Now we have Mr. Azim Khan Askarov. Mr. Askarov is the Business Development Officer at the Latvian company Accent. Actually, to speak about Latvia a little bit, we haven't really targeted Latvia. We may have some other session specific to Latvia. In fact, since this embassy looks after Latvia too, so we received a case study from Mr. Askarov. So we thought it appropriate to not respond to him by just giving him the response, but bring him to this platform so that he can meet and see the strength of the Indian IT industry. So over to you, Askarov. So please take the platform is yours. It seems he's not available. But I suppose all the people from the Indian or the Latvian side or the Swedish side who have not been able to be present to make their presentations, we will be circulating the contact details of everyone of the buyers of the buyers from Sweden and Latvia with the IT companies in India or vice versa. So they will have the contact and they can always contact each other. We'll be sharing their areas of interest also. So with this, I would pass on to Mr. Gurmeet Singh to convey the vote of thanks.
It is indeed my pleasure to propose a hearty vote of thanks to all the esteemed guests. The enriching address by Dhamiji and Mr. Joy, Sabri, and really provided an very gainful insight to all the participating companies about the market entry strategies into this important market for Indian production services. And it was very truly interesting and enlightening. So my kudos to Joy and Sabi on that. Let me thank all the officials in the Indian Embassy in Sweden for their overwhelming support and acceding to our request on behalf of my 2,300 Indian IT and electronics companies for making this today's event a grand success. I hope that the ICT trade between the two countries will reach new heights under, with the progress that these meetings will take over the time. So, as we all know, the present crisis has impacted all of us in a big way. However, as Winston Churchill rightly said, never let a good crisis go waste. So while unfortunately a lot of lives and livelihoods are going, but black swan events like this will cause a long-term behavioral changes and new normal will emerge in some spaces, and that's why what we are experiencing, and these are creating new opportunities for the industries to create and capture value. No doubt that technology has helped sectors across all the verticals, and I'm sure today's virtual business meet between the Indian and Swedish companies will open up new avenues for cooperation between Indian and Swedish companies for more cooperation and a win-win synergies between the two. So with these words, my sincere thanks to our ambassador also, Excellency Ms. Monica Kapil Mohta, for today's successful event. And we look forward to such events maybe after a certain quarter or something. So let the pace be continued, and I thank all my members for joining us today. With this, thank you so much, Mr. Dhami, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gurmeet-ji, for saying all the kind and the encouraging words. We will definitely look forward to continue this dialogue with the Indian industry, and at a much larger scale. I must say that right now we are into the Swedish summer vacations, and nobody is contactable. And really, we are thankful to the Swedish industry that is present here today for sparing their time out of their vacations and attending this. Our special thanks are due to Gurmeet-ji, Vikrant, the entire ESC team for organizing this event, which is very useful, very constructive, and I'm sure many deals will come out of it. So many Swedish partners have expressed their interest in joining hands with the Indian, and similarly Indians joining hands with the entering the Scandinavian market. Our special thanks are also due to Joydeep and Sabrina for giving their valuable insights on how to enter and the do's and don'ts in the form of 5 keys or saying emphatically no from Joydeep. And we would also like to thank Sanju Malhotra of India Unlimited for briefing us on the India-Sweden Innovation Day. So friends from the Embassy of India, on behalf of Ambassador Monica Kapil Mohta, the Embassy would like to thank you all, the ESC, all the participants for their very, very valuable participation from India, Sweden and Latvia. We look forward to continue working with you, and we look forward also, as Gurmeet-ji has said, to engage with you one more time at a much larger platform. Thank you so much for being part of this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vikrantji. Thank you, Mr. Gurdeep and other dignitaries to give such a wonderful platform to express ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for this wonderful session. Thank you.